right. Well, my name is Justin DeYoung. My pronouns are he, him, and I am proud to be the board chair of Equality Illinois.
Good morning. My name is Kelly Emery. My pronouns are she, her, and I am proud to serve as the chair of the Equality Illinois Institute. Thank you. 56 years ago, at a bar in New York City, our community had enough. Enough of the discrimination, enough of the bar raids, enough of the brutality. And 56 years ago, we fought back. And for 56 years, we've been fighting back.
Our country is in the fight of its life, but the fight of our lives is nothing new to LGBTQ plus people. Our tradition is one of joy, resistance, speaking up, and yes, pride. We stand in the shoes of Marsha P. Johnson, Sylvia Rivera, Bernita Gray, and Art Johnston. At its core, pride is a protest. And with both pride and protest, what our country needs right now. Equality Illinois has been at the forefront of battling for the rights and representation of LGBTQ plus people since our founding. We are glad you are here with us to celebrate today, but we want to alert you to some important updates as our organization retools for the fights ahead.
So Brian Johnson has had a fantastic 9-year record as the CEO of Equality Illinois. And it's really important that as an organization, as the staff and the board and all of us in this room thank him for his leadership. He's done so much to advance our communities through the policies passed in Springfield, as well as to increase the LGBTQ representation in our elected and appointed offices. Please raise your glass to toast Brian and give him a big cheer. As many of you know, Brian gave the board his notice that he'd be leaving our organization on June 30th. I heard some awes. Aw, thanks, Brian. And something he shared with me just like 5 minutes ago, and he was like, I might be leaving on June 30th, but on July 1st, I'm still here, and I'm still queer. And I said, thank you, Brian. And as a board, we're extremely committed, happy that he's committed to a smooth transition, not only to the interim leadership for Equality Illinois, but to the future CEO. And in this interim period, we want you to know that we have an exceptionally strong team, board, and search committee. Our search committee, we feel, is a very wise, well-rounded, and diverse search committee who's looking for our next CEO. And we've had robust community engagement throughout the process to search for the next CEO. We've talked to a lot of the LGBT community to get their feedback, our partners and our allies to understand what they see as requirements for the next CEO of Equality Illinois.
On behalf of the board, we are announcing an interim CEO. Kelly and I are excited to announce on behalf of the board that Shannon Lynn Parker will serve as the interim CEO starting July 1. As most of you know, Shannon is a true force in our community and a widely respected leader of Brave Space Alliance. She has served on the Equality Illinois board for 6 years, including currently serving as vice chair of the Equality Illinois Institute. She knows our organization well and readily raised her hand to help serve as part-time CEO until we name a new CEO later this year. A big shout out to Shannon. Thank you. A huge, huge, huge thank you also goes to the Equality Illinois team. Mike, Norma, Cheche, Ardina, Miles, Nathaniel, Kieran, and others who have helped achieve our accomplishments and advance progress over the years. And they are fighting each and every day for the LGBTQ+ community. Their work in this interim period is more important than ever, especially with the forces working against us. Let's have another round of applause for the Equality Illinois team.
And as we stand here in front of we're a sold out crowd today, folks. We're nearly 500 people strong. This is our largest Pride Kickoff Brunch in our history. We're incredibly grateful for all of you. We're especially grateful for the 23 members of our host committee, as well as for our sponsors. I'm going to name them. Airbnb, Amazon, Cupcake Vineyards, the OCC, People's Gas, Molson Coors, North Halstead Business Alliance, and Verizon. So big thank you to all of those sponsors. And now, please welcome to the stage Equality Illinois' new interim CEO, the Shannon Lynn Parker.
Thank y'all so much. Thank you so much. You know, I tell you that this is a time where we all have to step up, but there are also times where you have to step in. And again, it is such an honor to be named and to be leading as Equality Illinois' interim CEO, particularly for such a vital organization and for such a time as this. So again, I thank you all so much for your trust and for entrusting me with this leadership. Well, as y'all know, my name is Shannon Lynn Parker. My pronouns are she, her. I serve as the vice chair board of Equality Illinois Institute and CEO of Brave Space Alliance. You're like, you have a very busy Pride Month. Yes, I do. And again, I am also very proud to be serving as the interim CEO of Equality Illinois, beginning June 30th. However, today I have the privilege to introduce our next speaker, the 57th mayor of Chicago. Prior to leading the nation's third largest city, he served as a middle school teacher, a community organizer, and a Cook County commissioner. Married to Chicago's First Lady, Stacey Rencher, you know, I'm from Louisiana, I want to say Roncher, but Rencher Johnson, and father to 3 children. He is the proud resident of the Austin community. Please welcome to the stage our mayor, Brandon Johnson.
Wow, well, good afternoon, everyone. It is truly an honor to be with you all again on this year as we kick off Pride Month. But I do want to make sure that I give a special appreciation to, someone who, clearly imbibes what I call the soul of Chicago, to Director Parker and this role that you are walking into. I do think about history a lot because I'm a social studies teacher, and before you nod off, I know all of you stayed awake in your social studies classes, I do. But at a very critical moment in our world's history, it's good to know that the fight for justice, the fight for our humanity still lives on in the soul of this city. And, as I think about this moment and the kickoff of this incredible celebration of Pride Month, we always have to remind ourselves sometimes, even in the midst of difficult moments and challenges, know that our ancestors dreamed that a room could exist like this. And there are those who wish to characterize this fight and to narrate it around their limited view of humanity. But let it be known, in the city of Chicago, we will never flinch or cower or buckle under tyranny. In fact, we will come out even stronger on the other side, and our democracy will continue to evolve, and Pride Month will always be here. I do consider it a blessing to be able to represent a proud city, a city that is unapologetic about the way we celebrate. And in fact, just to be very honest, sometimes I don't like to live into stereotypes, but I do spend extra time figuring out what I'm going to wear on Pride Month. I mean, Brian just gets cuter and cuter every year. And I want my suits to look just as good as Lamont Robinson. Y'all give it up for our beloved state representative, Lamont Robinson. But I dare not compete with Precious. Y'all give it up for our commissioner. But I do want to thank Brian for all of your contributions to the LGBTQ plus community. Your tenure has been impressive, especially starting your career as a first grade teacher. This is why you have to put teachers in charge, you all. But working to make sure there's educational excellence throughout your career and encouraging civic engagement, we are in debt to your leadership. As you have worked to make sure that Equality Illinois continues in the tradition of excellence, our state's oldest and largest and most effective LGBTQ plus equality organization is why Illinois and Chicago shines as bright as we do. And thank you, Equality Illinois, for advancing the rights and freedoms of our people, ensuring that we can continue to bring our city together in celebration of Pride Month. Thank you again, Brian. You have earned your time off, and we look forward to you clocking in on July 1st around 12 o'clock. Because now, as mayor of the city of Chicago, I proclaim you in charge of all of the volunteers for the city of Chicago. But I do want to thank the city of Chicago's LGBTQ plus advisory council for their work. Can we give it up for our advisory council? If you ever want to know what it feels like to be powerful, inclusive, but also accountable, look no further than the Advisory Council. I'm also proud to congratulate its members, Kristen Kaza, who is being awarded for the 2025 Community Pride Award, along with Mike Liberson. So congratulations to the both of you. Well-deserved recognition for your efforts to create safe spaces and celebrations for the LGBT plus community. Everyone who is here today, each and every single one of us, whether you are a leader, an organizer, an advocate, or just simply a member of the LGBTQ plus community, everyone contributes to Chicago's status as a proud city. People come from all over the world, near and far, just to have access to health care and to feel safe and to celebrate who they are. We should wear that with an incredible honor. My administration will continue to honor its efforts to fight to uphold the rights and protections of our people. Most recently, the city of Chicago joined a multi-city lawsuit challenging Trump's administration in his attempt to coerce the city into agreeing to an anti-gender identity conditions in order to get grants. Let me just tell you this, as much as there is an effort to try to capture our humanity and lock it away, as long as I'm mayor of the city of Chicago and as long as we have a room full of fighters, we will never buckle under tyranny. And even if they threat us with dollars, we will still remain firm. As this administration continues to try to cut services to our city and lay people off and intimidate us, we will be victorious in this effort. The other side of this fight will represent and reflect how we move forward as a nation. We will continue to unite with deep conviction. Our beliefs will always be upheld, and the threats from the Trump, I said chump, didn't I? So let me just say, for someone who grew up in the church, there's a whole lot of amens in this room today. Y'all making a brother from the West Side feel real good. The chump in the White House will never, ever convince us to back down. And in closing, just to continue our effort, my office has created a position for the director of the LGBTQ+ affairs role, which will strengthen our city services and ensure that we make profound connections. And we are in the midst of interviewing people right now. I believe there are scores of individuals who have applied for this position, which shows that there is a real need to ensure that our city intentionally works to build a safer, more affordable city through the lens of the LGBTQ+ community. And once this person is on board, they will be tasked with creating Chicago's first ever LGBTQ+ policy plan to identify and outline all of the objectives that are necessary and strategies that will improve the health and the well-being of our people. This is going to build upon our efforts to safeguard and serve the community. And we will make sure that we will continue to do the work, even as we have established the trans femicide working group that is tasked at developing a plan to address violence and discrimination against trans individuals. I'm also very proud that our Chicago Department of Public Health will continue to invest in and offer inclusive health services, and along with the Chicago Teachers Union, their new contract codified the protections of the LGBTQ+ community. Our Chicago public schools will continue to work and include gender-affirming care, the use of affirmed names for staff and students, dedicated gender support coordinations within our schools for gender and sexuality alliances. We are going to make sure that the city of Chicago is the proudest city in the world. God bless you all. God bless the greatest freaking city in the world, the city of Chicago. Happy Pride Month, everyone.
Good afternoon, y'all. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I am Mike Ziri, he, him. I'm the Director of Public Policy at Equality, Illinois. Thank you. A few thank yous before I give you some breaking news from Springfield, but I want to thank the volunteers who checked you in today, who are serving us today. We cannot do this work without our fabulous volunteers. Please give them a round of applause. Also, I want to thank the servers who are providing us our meals, who are serving us our drinks today. Thank you to our workers and our servers here. And also, thank you for being here. This is a fabulous birthday party for me. My birthday was yesterday, but I spent it in Springfield, got home very late last night. I spent the last 12 days actually right on through in Springfield working on legislation. And a particular bill I want to mention because it is breaking news. Because yesterday, the Illinois General Assembly passed the Equality for Every Family Act. It wasn't always easy, but we got it done. And the premise of this bill is very simple. By modernizing our state's parentage, adoption, and surrogacy laws, we are ensuring enduring protections and ensuring that state law sees and recognizes every family in the state of Illinois. And we are ensuring that loving parents can ensure enduring legal protections for their kiddos and their families. And at this time, as the mayor said, of federal attacks, it is more important than ever that Illinois keep moving forward, and the Equality for Every Family Act does that. And I'm proud that the bill passed the Illinois Senate on, what is today, Sunday? On Thursday with a 36-19 vote. And then at 2:30 p.m. yesterday afternoon, it passed the Illinois House 77-40, and now will go to the governor. So very exciting to keep Illinois moving forward. And just want to shout out all the folks who helped make this possible. Our tenacious and amazing sponsors, Senate President Don Harmon and State Representative Tracy Katz-Mull. Our fantastic legal partners, Polly Crozier from Glad Law, Courtney Jocelyn, Nidhi Desai. Our great organizational partners, the Chicago Federation of Labor, Personal PAC, the Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights, and Sierra Club Illinois.
All right.
And I also want to give a shout out to our former Deputy Director at Equality Illinois, Moni Ruiz Velasco, wherever Moni is. And I especially want to give a heartfelt shout out to the family who inspired this legislation that will now ensure protections for all families going forward once this bill becomes law. I want to shout out Iggy and Lindsay and Desi. Thank you for sharing your story. Because of that, families will now have enduring, strong protections in the state of Illinois to keep this state moving forward. So thank you for your advocacy and for sharing, way long ago, a year and a half ago, sharing your story with Moni. So thank you. And while there is always more work to do, and I have a list of bills for the future in my head. Those are for next session, but I think this is a cause for celebration. We have passed the Equality for Every Family Act, and Illinois continues to move forward. So thank you, all everybody. Thank you for being at my birthday party. And now I'm going to turn it over to our fantastic Equality Illinois Director of Communications, Miles Brady Davis.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Miles Brady Davis, Director of Communications here at Equality Illinois. And this is my beautiful bride, the Commissioner Precious Brady Davis. You all see that I'm up here sweating and my social battery is kind of low. So my bride is going to read the remarks for Kristen Kaza. I'm Vanna.
One of my roles is also wife, so I'm going to be wife. Like in this moment, I'm taking my commissioner hat off. Hello, everyone. My name is Precious Brady Davis. I'm the wife of Miles Brady Davis. And I'm going to go off script to say that I've known Kristen Kaza a very long time. And I am just so grateful to have the privilege to work in community with you. Your commitments to the arts is just outstanding. Kristen Kaza is an award-winning culture producer on a mission to foster community connection and activate joy. For nearly 2 decades, she has dedicated herself to bridging the worlds of creative laborers and institutions in pursuit of building a more equitable entertainment industry. As founder of No Small Plans Productions, Kristen has been the architect of hundreds of parties with purpose, collaborating on events designed within an institutional and intersectional framework for partners like HBO, the Museum of Contemporary Art, Chicago Community Trust, Nike, United States Artists, Navy Pier, you can give it up, this is amazing. Pittsburgh Music Festival, Howard Brown Health, and more. She has also been featured in Time, Forbes, the Chicago Tribune, ABC, Chicago Magazine, and others. And in 2024, she was named one of Chicago's 30 most fascinating people. Woo. And rightly so, because she really is everywhere. Kristen is most widely known as producer and resident party mom of the legendary Chicago LGBTQ party series, Slow-Mo. Yes. Beloved by many for its joyful intergenerational vibes since 2011, in addition to its long-standing monthly club residency. Slow-Mo produces the Queer Family Pride Jam in celebration of LGBTQ+ families and kids, which our family loves. Kristen is also an educator, speaker, and serves on the LGBTQ+ advisory board to Mayor Brandon Johnson. In 2022, Kristen became a mom of 2 beautiful twins, raising her family with her amazing wife and a village of love. I'm proud to say Kristen is a part of our chosen family. We have danced the night away more times than we can count. She co-hosted Miles and I's engagement party, and we started our journeys of building our families around the same time. And let me tell you, her twins' birthday parties are next level joy. Kristen Kaza is the kind of leader who reminds us that joy is resistance, community is power, and that dancing together is part of the revolution. So with love, pride, and so much admiration, on behalf of Equality Illinois, I'm thrilled to present the 2025 Community Pride Awards to our friend, to our fierce party mom, Kristen Kaza.
Oh my gosh. I'm used to like having to fight over club music, and that's a lot easier for me than a room of all these incredible people who've done so much to advocate for our community. But first and foremost, I want to thank Miles for his advocacy and for all the work him and Nathaniel and everyone's put into putting on this event. I know what it is like. I am seeing labor behind the scenes, so please, every single person from the servers, everything to make this exceptional event, I'm giving it a 10, 10s across the board. Also our entertainment, who has made, in my opinion, incredible selections. Vita Girl, my collaborator, she's over on the side. Gonna show her some love. Woo! So I woke up early this morning to rewrite my thoughts. I felt like I needed a fresh start. Had to find a time as a mom, so before everyone woke up. And you know, out of my journal, my little pink journal, like a little chapel where I'm reading out my journal, a little lesbian pride flag for you on the first day of Pride. But right, it's always a theme. But out of this journal fell a tarot card that I had pulled in November, which was the 9 of Swords, which represents resiliency and courage, and sometimes the last push on the precipice of change. And that's something that I wanted to share with you today. There's so many of us that are having to pivot and reprioritize right now. And in fact, today was going to be the 3rd annual Queer Fam Pride Jam with my collaborator, Kiwa Nurula, who is here. Please give some love to her. And then I got this call from Miles about being able to be with you here today, so it's still a gift. But you know, we also need to make space to feel good and to fill back up. Togetherness and celebration is our reprieve, and generation after generation, that is what queer people have done. We have come to the dance floor. It's our sanctuary, and it's the place where we get to be each other's witnesses and mirror our beauty back to each other. And you know, everyone's coming into that space, they've got something going on. You know, everyone's going through something, and that's something that we always try and think about when we're creating these spaces. Over the years, I've heard literally hundreds of stories from hundreds of parties of the reasons why people came. You know, they're returning to a space after cancer, after a breakup, after having a baby or two, like me. And they're all placing their hopes on this party as their North Star to guide them to feel good and to find themselves. People fall in love and they meet their chosen family, like I did with my wife Alexis, and ooh, makes me emotional. And we met at Slow-Mo, so, you know, a testament right there if you're looking for love. It's the matchmaker, it's the community center, and the club is our go-to spot for our celebrations. A lot of times people will tell me that they come into a space like Slow-Mo or the Pride Jam or Old Gold, and it's a feeling of home. And, you know, that's what our goal is creating a sense of belonging for as many people as possible. That's a perfect cue because I would like to have a sip of water. Because I would like to share how I've been really privileged to be surrounded by especially so many incredible women and femmes. I think that is what feels so special when you come into our space. It's that intentionality. And that's what makes, you know, we're constantly thinking about how you're gonna feel when you're gonna come into a space. So I wanna thank especially all the women that I have worked with. I'm so grateful for their collaboration, their kinship, and their trust, especially the influence and impact of Black, queer, and trans women who are often, yes, who are often the originators of all great culture, even if they're not recognized as such. So yes, I'd like to take a moment to recognize all the Black, queer, and trans women in our community. Oh my God, let's clap a little bit more, can we please? That's a little better, that's a little better. And actually bringing it right to the center here, I have with me some people that I love very much. Tristan Winfield, who is the co-host of Slow-Mo, please stand up. VD Girl, who is our resident DJ, give him a wave. Kiwa Nurula, who is my co-organizer in the Queer Fam Pride Jam, our festival for families. And it's very important to me that I acknowledge my wife, my co-mother, Alexis Jennings, and I want to acknowledge all the party wives and party husbands and party spouses. We all know that we wouldn't be here without them, so give it up for them and for my wife, Alexis. And you can come see us. We got a lot of events. I got to give a plug because I've got my platform here. So you can come see us at Old Gold if you're over 30, which I feel, you know, maybe a few people in this room. We play all vinyl sets. It's daytime. We got seats. Then we have Slow-Mo Rodeo. Come on down for that. And we are doing a Pride Jam pop-up, even though we are pivoting this year. And stay tuned for more information about our family festival because we might be pivoting, but we're not giving up. That's right. So whether you're cultivating joy on the dance floor or creating legislation to protect our futures, everybody in here is doing life-saving and legacy-preserving work. And like Aretha Franklin sings, it's a deeper love and it's the power that gives us the strength to survive. Resilience is our legacy. We've been here and we got this, and together we carry us. So keep dancing, keep loving each other, have a powerful and happy Pride. Thank you so, so, so much for this. It means the world. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. My name is Jose Cheche Wilson. I am the Director of Civic Engagement at Equality Illinois. My pronouns are he, him, his. And I have the distinct honor of presenting one of our 2025 Pride Community honorees, Mark Lieberson. Give it up. Mark is a business person, a philanthropist, a community leader. He is the owner of many LGBTQ serving establishments such as Hydrate, Replate, Elixir. He is a pillar and has been a pillar of the North Halstead Alliance, Business Alliance, where he has helped champion community events such as Pride Fest, Market Days. And he's always working to blend the celebration with community, education, and social justice. As a donor, he has given time, space, money, and resources to help support the work of organizations such as Equality Illinois, the AIDS Foundation of Chicago, and Calor, to name a few. In particular, he has been an early champion of Howard Brown's dental clinic, helping to bring much-needed dental services to our communities. But before I invite him up on stage to accept this award, I want to talk from a personal point of view about Mark's impact in our community. You see, I met Mark when I was 21 years old, when I worked for him as a bouncer at Hydrate's nightclub, one of his many successful establishments on Halsted Street. I want you folks to know this, and if you don't know this, it's a reminder. Nightclubs have and continue to serve our community as safe spaces for LGBTQ people. It was at Hydrate that I was able to see the wonderful impact that Mark helped curate for us in spaces. When the horrible attack on our community happened at Pulse nightclub, I remember Mark calling an emergency staff meeting, and the first thing he did at the beginning of the meeting was say, "What can I do for you? I am here to listen. I am here to help." During a time of crisis, Mark made it a point to ensure our safety as staff members and the safety of our community. That is the type of leader that Mark is. Another wonderful thing that Mark, through Hydrate, has given me, has blessed me with, has been that I met my husband, Sam Wilson, working at Hydrate, where we both worked at Hydrate. And that was 10 years ago. I love you, Sam. Did you all know that Hydrate has the longest running Black-centered drag show on North Halsted? If you didn't, that's the Rough and Stuff show, Miss Ruff on Mondays, and before that it was Make Sure Rest in Power, Taj Mahal. Mark, you are truly a pillar of our community and a true leader. It is my honor to present Equality Illinois' 2025 Community Pride Award to you, Mark Lieberson.
Wow, okay. It's a lot easier to talk from the Pride Fest stage than it is to talk from here. So bear with me. First off, I'd like to thank the board and leadership of Equality Illinois for this great honor. Thank you, Brian, and all of your team, and thank you to everybody who helped put this event together. It's amazing. And I want to thank you all so much for being here, including so many friends, my chosen family, the people who I care about so much, and of course my husband, Rodney Becker, who has been with me for so many years. I'm truly touched and proud to be recognized by an organization that has done so much to protect and uplift our community. For decades, I've had the privilege of welcoming LGBTQ plus people into our spaces that I've helped build as the owner of bars and restaurants in our community, and as the chairperson of Chicago's Pride Fest, Market Days, and Midsummer Fest. These spaces have never been just about gathering and having fun. They've been about creating spaces that are safe, inclusive, and affirming. Through my work in hospitality and on boards like North Halsted's Business Alliance, the Andersonville Chamber of Commerce, Howard Brown Health, which I love the dental clinic, Interpride, and even this organization, believe it or not, back when it was the Illinois Federation for Human Rights. I remember that one. You're getting as old as me. I've seen the power of building something bigger than ourselves. Currently, as the chairperson of Pride Fest, I've worked to bring the protest back to Pride, and it's needed now more than ever. I have tried to use our stages to not only bring great entertainment, but to amplify the voices of those doing the daily work of justice, equity, and providing the care that our community needs so strongly here in Chicago. So I hope that we will see you at Pride Fest and we will celebrate the organizations that make our city what it is today. And that's very important to me. But to understand where we are, we have to remember where we come from. And this summer, I'm turning 63 years old, and I think back to the early 1980s when I was a much younger man. And Carol's Speakeasy, for those who may remember, a dance club on Wells Street, a popular place, and one of the few places back then where the LGBTQ plus community could gather safely and be ourselves. I'll never forget the night I was there and the police raided that bar, trying to take away at that time even the small pocket of freedom and safety that we enjoyed within our LGBTQ nightclub businesses. There were a handful. It was amazing. And I remember the fear, and I remember the confusion, and I remember running out a fire exit from that place with my friends, trying to be avoiding getting arrested and what was occurring inside. And I remember thinking to myself, why does it have to be this way? And will this ever change? And later, at my first job out of college at a major consulting firm, that while I had earned my place there, my right to be there, I still had to pretend who it was that I really was. I remember coworkers planning a birthday celebration for me at a strip club, assuming that I was straight, assuming everyone who belonged in their organization was straight like them. I smiled, I played along, because back then, that felt like the only way that you could survive in corporate America in the 1980s. We've come a long way, baby. We have come a long way since then, including securing the right to marry, which I'm very thankful for. But let's be honest, fear and discrimination still exist, and opportunity is not equal for everyone, especially in the workplace. That's why, no matter what the Trump movement says, real DEI still matters. Real DEI still matters not as a buzzword, but as a promise that everyone deserves the freedom to live openly, be seen fully, and have a fair shot at success in the world in which we live, in our city and our country. And that's why I'm excited to see so many younger people who are here today. Because to the younger folk who are sitting here, who are standing in the room, and friends of mine who are a few years younger than me, I want to say to you, we need you. We've made progress, but the work isn't finished. You bring the energy, the creativity, the conviction that this next chapter that we're in, and that hopefully we will move beyond at some point, really needs. And for those of us who've been in the fight for decades and seen what I have seen, for the younger people who are going to be leading the fight going forward, know that we've got your back. We will be there, and together we're going to continue this battle. We have a priority to have the rights that we deserve, to have the lives that we deserve, and we're going to make it happen. So yes, LGBTQ plus rights are under attack again. But I do not feel discouraged. I actually feel energized. We've done this before. We know how to fight. And we're going to do it again. and we're going to do it together. And we're going to do it with our allies, and we're going to make it happen so that the world that we want to be living in is the world that we're creating for the future, for the present, for the children, really for everyone in our society. So I hope that you will please join the battle in whatever way it is that you feel appropriate, whether through the arts, whether through Equality Illinois, whether through Howard Brown, that you give to our community. Because as Art Johnson once told me, people give to Northwestern Hospital, they'll give to the Art Institute, but not everyone is going to give to Howard Brown, to Equality Illinois, to the organizations that serve our community, which are so essential that we all depend upon, and we need to be supporting them and making sure they are here for now and for the future, now more than ever, as this administration attempts to take away critical funding that we need to do what we have to do in our city, our society, and our lives. So please, thank you, Equality Illinois. I thank you so much for this honor. And I wish you all a very happy Pride Month. Be proud, be out there. Let's show them who we are. Let's live our lives fully, and let's live it long into the future the way we deserve to live our lives, freely and as who we are really, in our souls, in our bodies, in our lives. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Isn't it wonderful to languish in the rainbow pool? My name is Norma Saledon, and I am the Director of Leadership Development and Capacity Building at Equality Illinois.
And my name is Nathaniel Ekman, and I'm the Director of Development for Equality Illinois. And I'm going to adjust the mic. And we want to thank everyone here for coming out to support this year's Pride Brunch. Equality Illinois loves and depends on its supporters and friends in our communities. We could not do what we do without you. Thank you.
We wish you to have a beautiful afternoon, and remember that this month to live extra proud and extra loud. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for supporting us.